So 1, 2, 3 are there. So should we move forward? Should we start? Should we
Let's
move?
wait for
Okay,
for
okay.
a minute
Oh,
and then start maybe
oh,
probably. Three others
exactly.
are.
Okay, okay.
Gayatri madam said that she will be joining by 8:15.
Okay, okay.
Okay, we can start and maybe then we can
Yeah,
end by 10. Because
we can start then. Yes.
Okay, okay. So I'll just start sharing my screen. Hope it is visible to everyone.
yes, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So today we'll be discussing about the consumer behavior, which comes under the marketing domain. So till now, I believe every one of you must have got aware about the various the topic of research into segmentation, targeting, positioning, and up to some extent in marketing part, consumer behavior must have also must be covered up to bit of extent, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So talking about consumer behavior as a theory, talking about consumer behavior as a topic of research, you'll see a whole lot of paper in this area, in the area of consumer behavior. Like if you go by Google Scholar, if you go by the research gate, influence of A's on buying decision process. Talking about me also, my research paper, my thesis was on if measuring effectiveness of humorous advertisement on buying decision process of Indian consumers. This was my topic of research. But talking about the scope of the research in consumer behavior, that has to be taken care of very well. Reason I'm telling you, because every one of you must be aware about the various uh, reasons of buying, or various process of buying decision. Can anyone brief about the various process of buying decision, from where the buying process starts?
It starts with search first.
No,
Searching
no.
for or
Exactly. Actually, searching is a part. Searching is a part. Very good. But before searching, also there is a search. Search within. If
need.
you
Oh,
exactly need. Very good,
wait.
Ashutosh. Very good. Very good. So actually, need is at the core of every marketing activity. Or say, for example, need is at the core of every human being, because without need, we do not get motivated. Without motivation, we do not take action, isn't it? So talking about the various process, starts with the need recognition, then information search, then pre-purchase decision, and before that also we keep on evaluating certain alternatives, then pre-purchase decision, then post-purchase decision. But if we go by that word, consumer buying behavior, then it will take a lot of time, and it will be very complicated, isn't it, Ashutosh ji, Sauvik ji, Hina ji, Manjur ji?
Yes.
Because my scope will be need also, information search also, searching alternatives also, pre-purchase decision also, post-purchase decision also. So it will be very complicated. So once we go into the research of consumer behavior, we must properly specify the scope of the research, that what will be my scope. And it is very important aspect in the area of research, not only in the domain of marketing or finance or HR, overall in the management field, in the research field, domain is said to be, scope is said to be one of the most important aspects. Because every time the external comes, they say they'll see your topic, that just say I'll take an example of Ashutosh ji. I was going through his proposed area of research, that service as a differentiator, isn't it?
Yeah. That's
Service
right.
as a differentiator, very good. So say for example, when I mention in a topic service as a differentiator, we will have to clearly define that what kind of service will we consider in my research work. Like service being given to the distributor by manufacturer, or service being given to the customers by the distributor, or post purchase service, or say for example you are clubbing all those services, so we will have to clearly mention the scope. So anyways, so talking about the consumer behavior perspective, so it is all about decision making, and every one of you must be aware about the maximum time that we spend is on decision. Say for example today also by 7:50 a.m. you must have taken a decision whether to join this meeting or not, whether to join this class or not, isn't it? Whether to have breakfast after the class, whether to have breakfast before the class. Am I right or not? So now talking about the decision making process, talking about the decision, every time, at every second, at every juncture of our time, we take on certain decisions. What should I wear today? What should you wear today? What should we wear today? What perfume should I put on? What I'm going to have for breakfast, for lunch, or for dinner? All these decisions, we think about it, we keep on taking decision. Yeah, but it is a fact that many times we take decisions by our conscious brain open. Many times it is our unconscious decision, because once you feel the need of hunger, you will have your breakfast. Once you feel the need of hunger, you feel the need of having lunch. So I will not go into the details of this consumer behavior definition, but still you can note it down. I have written this Jacoby J and Sifman and Kanuk 97. Just wait, someone is in about to join. Acha, Ghosh is there. And Hinaji, once Gayatri madam will come, kindly inform me, because while sharing the screen, many times it happens that I cannot see the screen, that who is entering.
Okay, sir, I'll
Okay.
inform. She
Sure,
said
sure.
that she will be by 8:15, she said.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Sir, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Sorry for being late.
No issues. No issues. So, talking about the reason being, I have mentioned this Jacoby J and Sifman and Kanuk 97, because in research, this is also one of the most important aspects, which is known as operational definition of your research work. Because once you see, there can be so many definitions of a single word. Say for example, marketing. There can be n number of definitions of marketing, isn't it? There can be n number of definitions of marketing, but it is up to us to decide upon that which definition should I consider in my own research work. Say for example, advertisement. Now I will take my example also. Say for example, advertisement. In many literatures, it is being mentioned that word of mouth is also a form of advertisement. Souvik ji, am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Good. In many literatures, it is being written that word of mouth falls under the advertisement. But going by the definition of advertisement, one definition of advertisement is written, it is a paid form of non-personal communication, isn't it? Paid form of
Yes, sir.
non-personal communication. Not talking about the word of mouth. If you are saying, if some literature is saying that word of mouth is also under advertisement. Now, if I spread a positive word of mouth in front of Abraji, Hinaji, Manjurji, Sovikji, and Ashutoshji, that Google Meet is a very good platform. Google Meet is a very good platform in which we can communicate, we can share the screen, we can share the information. But am I being paid by Google Meet?
No.
No. So by going by that definition of advertisement, we can say that no, word of mouth will not fall under advertisement. So there is a very there is a bit of confusion in taking word of mouth as an advertisement or not. That is also a matter of research. I mean, through literature survey, through literature review also, we can come to the conclusion that say for example, my topic is word of mouth slash a part of advertisement or not. Simple. Word of mouth, a part of advertisement or not. Then we will go by various literature. Say for example, 50 literatures, 51 literatures, 52 literatures. Then only we can conclude that yeah, should we consider word of mouth as a part of advertisement or not. So anyways, so talking about the consumer buying behavior. Say for example, any one of you might be interested in knowing the various patterns of buying in moisturizing industry. So we will have to frame questionnaire accordingly, that why we buy moisturizer. Why we buy moisturizer? Ashutosh ji might be saying ki, to reduce the screen problem. Souvik ji might be saying to increase the glow of my skin. Hina ji might be saying something different. Manju ji is saying something different. Abra ji might be saying something different. Okay. Now talking about the moisturizing industry, one more very important question that arises in this industry. I have just taken a hypothetical example. I'm not connecting with your own research work because everyone is having a different area, different interest of research. That one more question can be: which brand do you prefer of moisturizer? I mean, me myself is not much aware about how many brands exactly are available in the industry of moisturizer. Say, for example, Olay or Pond's or L'Oreal or Mama's. You must be knowing much better than me about the moisturizing industry. What are the other brands in this industry? Like
Nivea,
I've taken Nivea, very good. I've taken Olay, L'Oreal, Mama's, Pond's, Nivea, and there can be n number of examples.
Nivea, Lakme.
Nivea, Lakme, very good.
Yes.
How often Abra buy moisturizer? How often Manjoor ji apply that? Talking about buying, how often do we buy? How often do we apply? From where do you buy? So talking about the research area in the field of consumer behavior, there are numerous approaches. There can be n number of research in the field of consumer behavior. And one very important aspect in the area of consumer behavior is factors that influence my behavior, factors that influence your behavior.
Hmm.
So can anyone tell, because in your first class of domain, you must have gone through marketing and its various environment in which segmentation, targeting, positioning must be clear to all of you. Or ऐसे भी every one of you are from MBA background, so this is very simple topic that segmenting, targeting, and positioning. But still, what are the various factors that influences the buying behavior?
Okay, sir, should I?
Please.
Okay, so one part is the point of parity and the point of differences of the competitor
good.
brands.
Very
That is
good.
one part. The second part is the brand associations, the strong, favorable, and unique brand associations which the consumers
Good.
perceive in their minds.
Good. It means just I'll write in the chat box. It means what you are saying will fall under the perception kind of thing.
Right, sir.
Perception.
Number three, factor number three is the effective communication strategy of the marketer, like the advertisement or direct marketing, whatever be the promotional mix, whatever be the
Good.
integrated communication strategy.
Good.
So that is one part. Number four is the the peer group, influence.
Very good.
That is one. Next comes the product price.
Before
Next
that
comes the
also,
affordability or the demographic segment in which the
exactly.
customer falls. Next comes
Exactly.
the psychographic segment in which the
Exactly.
customer falls. So these are the various factors.
My family members,
Yes.
my friends, these all are parts that influences my buying behavior.
One
I will
more
again
is there, sir. Sir, one more is there.
actually,
I touched upon.
Abhinaji,
Hello.
there is not one more talking about the factors.
Multiple. Yes.
There can be multiple number of factors.
Multiple. Yes.
That's why it is said that maximum research in the domain of marketing falls under consumer behavior, because people
Sir,
link.
two more I can recall.
Please.
Which I have missed, sir.
Hmm.
The sixth one is the place, the mode of distribution.
Very good.
The availability, the mode of distribution, the
Very
distribution
good.
channel which matters.
Very good.
And the last one is the people, the man behind the product.
The man behind the product. I mean,
The
that
person
comes
who is
under
endorsing or the
Exactly.
direct sales force person, whoever is coming to meet you.
Exactly.
So these all are the factors.
Exactly.
So,
Not talking. Please.
So I just basically, if you look at it, so I think one very interesting model is the Howard said model, and they have actually categorized it in four different heads. So one was the internal state variables and processes which capture the state of the buyers. The second was inputs from marketing environment. So one is internal to the buyer, second is marketing environment, and third is inputs from the social environment.
Exactly. That is also in the syllabus. This syllabus also. When we'll be discussing about the various models of consumer behavior, then obviously we will discuss about that. That is in this syllabus. Now talking about the various factors that influence the buying behavior. Say for example, if I take the example of family, and I will take my own example, reason being, uh, say for example, my own belief, I want my hair to be long. I want my hair to be like, MS Dhoni of the old times, or Shoaib Akhtar of the old times, and likewise. Now, the influence of my family member on the buying decision process, on my haircut process, I will take. You know, when I was into BHU, when I was in BHU for 7 years, then only at one time I increased my hair. My hair grew. But many a times, I mean, most often it happens that the moment it keeps on growing, then my father influences me, no, baal chota kara lo, just cut the hairs. This is the influence. So this is a simple example, now talking about the influence of family on buying decision process of chocolates for kids. Say for example, if any one of you are married having kids, now Abhanaji can have influence on his kids. He will brainwash him that chocolate is not good, chocolate is not good, chocolate is not good. And by saying so, by saying so many times, suddenly a day will fall that his kid will say that, yeah, chocolate is not right, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Ashutosh ji, Gayatri ji.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And it happens, if Gayatri ji will keep on surfing the mobile in front of her kids, then kid will also get influence, because it is being said that parents are the mirror image of the character that is being built on the children.
Yes, sir.
Gayatri ji,
Very
kindly
true.
mute. Very true, very true. Anyways, so now talking about, this is also very important, that there are various kind of buying response behavior. Some will fall under the less involving good, some will fall under the more involving. So firstly, we will be discussing about the routine buying behavior, then limited decision making, then extensive decision making. And in this response behavior, one is missing, that I have kept it blank because of certain motives. Can anyone tell that which one is missing? Say for example, there is a reasoning question: routine, limited, extensive, fill in the blanks. Then what can be filled in the fill in the blanks? Any one of you? Just think through it before I start with the routine buying behavior. Okay?
Sir,
Should I
I
proceed?
have one. Sir,
Sir,
sir, I have a question here. Sir, is this involvement from the side of the marketeer, like it is in
No,
the
no.
case of a monopoly market where the less involvement,
No.
or it is from the end of the
This
customer?
involve customers. I'm talking
Consumers.
from the perspective of the consumers. Yeah. So
Okay.
firstly, we'll be discussing about the routine buying behavior, in which generally it happens that we recognize the brand, that this brand I have to purchase, and this routine response behavior generally involve the repetition kind of thing. Say for example, the loaf of bread, loaf of sliced bread. Now here in Ranchi, we are having one brand called Mortin. One brand called Mortin. When I was in Patna, there was a brand called Shagun bread. Shagun bread. So whenever I used to go to the shop, भैया शगुन ब्रेड है, शगुन ब्रेड है, शगुन, I mean repetition buying. Say for example, Maggie. I mean talking about the noodle industry, भैया Maggie है, Maggie. I mean routine response behavior. Any other example from your side that falls under routine response behavior? Every time you go for the same kind of purchasing. Say for example, talking about the soap industry also. Lifebuoy hai, yeah, Lux hai, Dettol hai, and likewise. Talking about the shampoo, Dove
Toothpaste
hai,
also, maybe.
toothpaste also. Very good. Colgate hai, I mean it is my brand. Your brand might differ. Colgate, Patanjali, or whatsoever. Then there is a limited decision making. Say for example, the example. For the last 1.5 year, how many of you have gone to theater for last 1.5 year? I believe no one.
Yeah,
No,
no
I've
one.
not gone at least.
No.
Fortunately or unfortunately, thanks or unthanks to this COVID. Anyways, but still, talking about the example. Say for example, Ashutosh ji, Saubik ji, Hina ji, Manjush ji, Abhara ji, Gayatri ji. you all have come to Ranchi for your the progress presentation or your pre-submission or your submission of the thesis. You all want to have party, because from 9 to 6 you are busy, so you all have planned that we will together go to the theater. We will watch the movie of the, say for example, 9 p.m. to 12 p.m. Okay? Agree everyone? कोई दिक्कत मतलब
Yes, sir.
night show में कोई no problem. Anyways, so 9 p.m. to 12 p.m. Now here falls the limited decision making. Now you all will plan ki, we must have dinner before going for the movie, because after 12 p.m. it is next to impossible in the city like Ranchi to have dinner. It will not be available. Take my word, because I'm living here since last 5 years, so it will not be available. Not talking about the limited decision making. There can be various research into this also, that nearby theater, nearby theater, how many restaurants are available, and if you observe by yourself, at almost every place you will see that nearby a very good theater, you will see a very good dining place, just a walking distance, isn't it? That was
Yes,
part
yes.
of the research work also. I mean, because of certain findings, you will see those kind of things. So you all have planned. Gayatri ji, I suppose, has left the meeting. Anyways, so I'll continue. So in limited decision making, what we will plan, we must eat dinner beforehand. So we will look at the restaurants nearby, and we will pick the one that is within the budget. Of course, that everyone has said that financial constraint is also there. We will pick that is within our budget, and that offers the food that we all like, and that is within a very short walking distance from the theater. So in this case, there is a limited decision making. If because here is a condition apply, because we have to watch the movie also, we have to have our dinner also. But if the going to theater would not have been the case, then I would have suggested you, just nearby our university, nearby our university, there is a very good restaurant. Abraji, can you mute yourself, because
Yeah, sure, sir. Sorry.
please. No issue. Because if nearby our university also, there are very good restaurants. So in that case, your decision making would not be limited. Now talking about what was the other one, extensive, it was there, na? It is visible now.
Yes, sir. Now it is visible.
Now talking about extensive decision making. Now, what is extensive decision making? The kind of buying decisions that involve generally a big financial investment. Generally, I'm talking about a big financial investment. But again, if I take my own example, that in which in my research I took various product categories. Now people say generally in many literature you will see that extensive decision making, for extensive decision making, the big financial investment is required. Okay? Now, but I will ask every one of you a simple question. How for how many rupees, for how many penny do you get a simple SIM of Jio or Airtel or Vodafone? How many penny
50,
do you invest?
50 or 100?
50 rupees, 100 rupees.
100 rupees.
Ashutosh ji?
Yeah, about 100 rupees.
About 100 rupees. For many it is free also. Many times they promote their goods, because I remember at the time of Aircel, they were just asking for the Aadhaar card photocopy, and on that basis they are distributing it for free. But when I was searching upon my topic about the product categories, the SIM part, the telecommunication SIM part, many researchers have kept it in the extensive decision making, despite of the fact that it costed barely 50 rupees, barely 100 rupees, or many times it was free. On at 50 rupees also they were giving you the talk time of 100 rupees, many times a talk time of 200 rupees. I mean, buying a SIM was giving you a profit of 150 rupees. You invest rupees 50, you get a talk time of 200, your profit is 150 rupees, isn't it? So why was it so? Why was it so that many literature were putting this SIM into the categories of extensive decision making?
The reason is, sir, consumers take into account the health of the connectivity before they take the SIM.
Exactly. What is the health
How
of the
good
connectivity?
is the connectivity? Yes.
Exactly. Reason being, we do not want to be overburdened because of the network connection. If I wish to talk to Ashutosh ji, if I wish to talk to Souvik ji, if I wish to talk to Hina ji, Manjur ji, Abhara ji, Gayatri ji, but because of certain network issue, I cannot connect with you. So what was the use of that? And my smartphone has got only one connection, say for example, limited decision making. Again we are talking about, if it is the dual SIM, now it is most of the smartphone comes with a dual SIM only. हो सकता है in future we might see the triple SIM or the 4 SIM or whatsoever. And one more category was there, which I have kept it blank for you all to decide upon. Fill in the blanks.
Sir, I have one question in regard to the extensive decision making.
Please.
Sir, can we say that while we go for buying cars, or while we go for buying a fixed deposit, or while we go for buying a life insurance, that is also extensive decision making?
Exactly,
or there is
exactly,
limited
exactly.
decision making?
No.
Or there is
That
limited
is
decision making?
that is extensive decision making. Actually, see, the perfect example of extensive decision making is buying a real estate or a house. Because
Property.
once we go to buy the property, many in the market for a new home will research thoroughly. We will view numerous properties. We will weigh up different options. We will visit local areas. We will compare through magic bricks. We will visit the area whether it is having school nearby, whether it is having the health facilities nearby, before finally we decide upon that, yeah, this area, this property we will buy, isn't it?
Okay.
But again, routine response, limited decision, and extensive decision making, it is not permanent in nature, because nothing is permanent. Reason being, I'm telling you, you have taken the example of car, that buying a car will fall under the extensive decision making, because we will do so much of research. We will read review. We will ask to Ashutosh ji, because he is into the car industry. We will get in touch with him, that Ashutosh sir, what do you suggest to buy? If someone is into the different industry, then talking about the real estate industry, say for example, if Manju ji is into the real estate business, we will ask him. We will definitely get in touch with him. But talking about the personality nature, also talking about the extensive decision making also, it is not permanent in nature, because we cannot say that car purchasing or a real estate purchasing is the universal example of extensive decision making. Reason why I'm telling you, because say for example, someone might be a very affluent person. He is from very well-to-do family. He's having no constraint of money. He can invest crores and crores of money at a go. He's not having any issue. So talking about the car purchase also, talking about the real estate purchase also, he'll just spend without giving it much thought. Talking about car, he'll say, my car has got it is more than 2 years old, I'll purchase a new car. My car is 1 year old, I'll purchase a new car. New car model has arrived, and I should be the first one to have that, so he'll buy, of course. But those falls under the exception. But there is nothing like 100% extensive decision. There is nothing like 100% limited decision making. Anyways, so what
can
about
we
the
say
fifth?
like, sir, can we say like that the limited decision making is applied to a market which is perfectly monopolistic market? Can we say like this?
Limited decision making,
where I have no other choices. Limited decision making is applicable to perfectly monopoly market.
No. See, nowadays,
This is not clear actually.
they,
That's what I'm asking, sir.
nowadays there is nothing like concept of perfectly monopolistic market, or say for example, by limited decision making, what I mean to say, that have you gone through the probability chapter, in which there was a implied kind of probability. What is the probability of getting head? Now one question was there, what is the probability of getting head and not tail? This was also a question. If you remember in your class 9, 10th, and 11, 12, I still remember. That was one condition was implied, which was called the conditional probability. So talking about the limited decision making kind of thing, here I took an example of the theater, that you all are planning to go to the theater. So one decision is fixed, you have to go to the theater.
Can you give one more example, sir?
Say for example, talking about the limited decision making, one other example can be exactly. Say for example, you want to purchase the Maruti car. Okay,
Okay.
You want to purchase the Maruti car. So Maruti. So talking about the seat cover, talking about the seat cover, talking about the decorating your car inside or from outside. So limited edition means you have decided upon that you will go for the Maruti car or you
You're
will go
talking
for
about
the
the
Mahindra car.
accessories. You're talking about the accessories.
Exactly, accessories. So generally it is not that the accessories of Mahindra will not fit into the Maruti, or the accessories of Hyundai will not fit into the into Maruti. Talking about the seat cover, okay. So basically we consider from the place where we will buy our car, we will have the accessories from that particular place also. Isn't it, Ashutosh ji?
Okay.
Because you are basically involved into this industry, so you must be
Yeah,
knowing
yeah.
better than.
Yes, yes.
So,
Along with new car,
talking
normally accessories are purchased from.
exactly. So talking about the fill in the blanks, no one has still said fill in the blanks. No one has filled the blanks.
What is it? The fourth you asked, right?
The fourth, yeah, fill in the blanks.
Routine, limited, expensive.
Is it
Have you heard?
influenced or kind of
Sir,
compulsory?
I have I need a small clarification. Gayatri here, sir. Sir, here we have classified as extensive, limited, and routine. This
Yeah,
classification is actually based on the level of influence of external factors.
yeah.
So it is like routine influence means there is very low level of influence, and limited is in moderate, and extensive is where we have more influential factors affecting our decision.
Exactly. I suppose you are
Uh,
going in your research direction very carefully. Acha, Gayatri ji, I was having a question from you. I was going through your
yes,
topic,
yes,
leachables and
extractables and
all
leach.
those.
Yes, yes.
So can you give me a call after this meeting? Because reason
Sure,
being,
sir.
I myself was confused. What exactly will you do into that? Because it will be very
Sure, sir.
complicated.
Yes.
Sure.
I will
We
give
will
you a
have a
call. Sure,
discussion.
sir.
We'll,
And so
anyway,
in this case, is there any, I mean, can the blank be like we are left with no option or forced decision making?
no, see, in fill in the blanks, if we go by the literatures, it is the impulse buying. Have you heard of it? Impulse buying.
Yes, sir.
Exactly. So what
Without any
exactly is
In
it?
decision.
with
Without any
Without
decision.
without any proper
any
planning,
thought? Yes. Okay.
without giving it much thought. So basically it is a purchase that is made on within a moment, or it is often irrational in nature, or the decision taken at a glance. Say for example,
Driven by the
say for
impulse.
exactly say for example, and here also the topic of research comes, that what is the role of packaging. Because I'll give you an example. Say for example, every one of us are waiting in a line to buy our lunch. Say for example, our university is open and we are standing in a line to buy our lunch, and suddenly any one of you see a magazine, depending upon your interest, which is very easily to reach by, and is having an eye catching front cover. The front cover is of your, say for example, your favorite celebrity. For me, say for example, Rahul Dravid's photo. And mind you, I myself has bought many magazines because of not because of only Rahul Dravid, and without giving it much thought on the content. I was so diehard fan of Rahul Dravid. Every one of you must be having a certain influence of celebrity. So say for example, if the eye catching front cover is of your own favorite celebrity, then without giving it more thought, you might pick it up and buy it without in-depth consideration, without going into the details that what are the contents in this magazine. Or many times with kids also it happens. I'll give you an example. One article I was reading through in the year 2015 or 16. I don't exactly remember the date, in which it was given that in foreign nations, especially in Europe, what happens? There is a concept of supermarket. Now in India also we are having this concept of supermarket. So the items that are the basic for you, say for example, bread and butter. So what they used to do strategically, they used to put milk, bread and butter at the last corner of the supermarket. Now say for example, Gayatri ji, Hina ji, Manjur ji, they all are going to buy the bread, butter and milk. Okay, agree everyone? No problem.
Yes, sir.
Because
Yes,
those
sir.
are the Those are the basic things. We must go for that. Now, say for example, your kids say that by looking at the packaging of certain chocolate or looking at the packaging of certain toys, he might say, "Oh, yeah, it is very good. It is very good looking." So that is impulse buying without giving the much thought. Gayatri ji, Hina ji, Manjur ji, Abra ji, Ashutosh ji, Shavik ji, they will say that it is for the kids, so let's buy. So impulse buying many times happens by the emotions of your near and dear ones also. This is also a part, isn't it? And many times it happens. For me also, for you also, for every one of us, impulse buying happens. Agree or not?
Yes, yes, sir.
Now
Yes, sir.
talking about the area of research into that. What are the form of packaging that influences you to go for the impulse buying? This can be also a very good area of research. That like say for example in packaging, which color combination, if it is very dark, if it is very light, if it is combination of many colors, this is a matter of research, so still we cannot conclude, but there can be very good research topic on this, that what exactly
Sir,
influence.
actually, my topic is kind of related to this, sir. Hello.
I'm getting it.
Yes, sir. These extractables and leachables are all what are added into the packaging materials for attraction, like colors or other materials which will give
Okay,
elasticity. Or
okay, okay,
so
okay.
these will come into the food product, but we will get attracted to that packaging, and we will not think about the
Okay,
chemicals
okay,
which are
okay,
being.
okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
So
okay.
this is
That's why I
actually
was
what I'm
asking.
looking.
Okay, very good,
Okay,
very good.
okay,
So
sir.
now I'm clear. Now I'm clear. But
Okay,
in
sir.
that, kindly mention the scope of that, for packaging.
Sure,
Because
sure,
if you,
sir. I have to
because if
further
you,
refine it, sir.
because if you'll ask a common man about leachables, extractable,
Yes,
then
sir.
they might not find it suitable. Anyways,
Okay,
so
sir. I'll call you
now,
after the session.
sure. Now talking about the various models of consumer behavior. Various models of consumer behavior. What you are looking at: learning model, psychoanalytical model, sociological model, Angel Collat Blackwell model, black box model, and Hawkins Stern impulse buying. Apart from this, if anything is visible to you all, any one of you? If it is not visible, it is my fault, I suppose, because in background, I suppose.
No, nothing more is visible, sir.
Actually, nothing more is visible. So just wait. I'll
Any
try
other
to.
model is there, I think.
Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What it is?
Ability, motivation, intention that leads to behavior.
Exactly. And at downward side, there is motivation, opportunity, ability, talking about all the models: learning model, psychoanalytical model, sociological model, EKB model, black box model, Hawkins Stern impulse buying model. But the basis of all this model is directly or indirectly being taken from the model that is in the background. That is called the MOA model. MOA model, which stands for motivation, opportunity, and
ability.
ability model. Okay? So talking about the motivation, talking about the opportunity, talking about the ability. Now, in many research, you will find, say for example, motivation. Talking about motivation, you will not find much difference between various literatures. They all will say that what is motivation? It is my intrinsic drive or my extrinsic drives to satisfy my physiological or psychological needs and wants. Okay. Because every one of us must take into account that motivations are the primary drivers of of taking any purchase decision. And this is where marketeers hit us. Marketeers, they understand our decision making process and purchasing process. Then in order to champion the various relevant products, features, and innovations, and then accordingly they create their promotion mix that I suppose someone was talking about. They create such kind of ads also to motivate us. Say for example, can you recall any ad of insurance product, especially the life insurance product, which is having the humorous appeal in it? Any ad of the insurance products which is having the humor element in it?
No, sir.
Any one of you?
No, sir.
No. What kind of appeal generally they prefer? Fear
Fear
appeal.
appeal. Fear appeal.
Safety, fear.
Fear appeal. I mean, they will take you to the Ekta Kapoor serial, to keep on crying. Zindagi ke saath
Yes.
bhi, zindagi ke baad bhi. Basically, I mean, their level of motivation is by fearing you, dara
Like
ke.
what can be the negative outcomes of not buying the product? That is
Exactly,
the
because
kind of
motivation is basically of two kinds. One is to get certain reward, and one is to avoid certain consequences. Talking about the kids also, because the reason I'm taking the example of kids so many times, because nowadays you will see a lot of research work on the influence of kids in the buying decision process. Because initially it was the scene that in car industries, Ashutosh ji, if you are there, you can highlight upon that. In the car industry, kids were not shown. But nowadays, since last 10 years, if you go by the ads, you will see, the involvement of kids is increasing day by day. My dada's
Right.
big car, and something like that. Because nowadays, parents are so much, I will not say that, at initial times, parents were not emotional to their kids. But nowadays, I don't know the reasons. They are so much, caring about their kids, that for the moment they will listen that, in Johnson product there is certain uh, wrong thing, in Himalaya product if there is certain wrong thing, they will not at all go for the Johnson baby product. They will not at all. It happened in my case also. One of my relative, one of my sister, she went to a shop, and then suddenly a shopkeeper said that, madam, this is Johnson and we are offering 50% off. I was not aware about the fact that, what exactly was into the market about the Johnson products. Suddenly I said that, yeah, it is very, very good, because Johnson was a brand very, very well recognized to me. I was not aware, there was so much case into Johnson. And my sister suddenly declined that, forget about 50% off or 100% off, but I will go for Mama's Earth, I will go for Himalaya, even if they are costlier, but at no cost I'm going to purchase this Johnson products. I don't know whether what is the story today, that Hina ji and Gayatri ji will tell well. Ashutosh ji, you were about to say
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. No, you are quite correct. In fact, particularly, firstly about kids' involvement. Present days, I think in for our case also, we involve them in all the decisions. Whether it is not only car, maybe like taking for rent also, school. So every decision
Exactly,
nowadays,
exactly.
kids are involved. That is first. And second, automobile industry, if you see, it has evolved like anything, because I joined this industry in some 2000, year 2000, 2001. I remember at that time, at one dealership, one kid tried to enter one. At I was working with Maruti at that time at Delhi.
Mm,
So
mm,
one kid tried to enter one car at dealership,
mm,
and the dealer manager came there that why you are allowing kid to enter the car. That we have seen,
mm.
and within few years that scenario changed. People were inviting kids, they were planning kids camp at dealership so that kids enjoy the car. So that is
Good,
how
good.
things changed in few years.
Exactly. So, and nowadays also there is a very numerous scope of research into this area.
Yeah.
That what
So
is the influence of kids
also,
into various industries. Huh.
yes, sir.
Souvik ji.
Also, I think the concept has also evolved. I think earlier it was more of the utility value, but now it has become an experience. Even if you buy a car, it's not just a utility of transportation. It's also has a experience value. It also has, I think, a status value. So I
Exactly,
think all
exactly,
these factors are coming in where the decision making process is involving
exactly.
kids.
That's why I take an example of my Dada's big car. Have you seen that ad? It was 10 to 12 years back. Maruti's ad was there. My Dada's big car. I know what Souvik ji is saying. Car means car. Then why the big was being involved? Just to show the status symbol. My Dada's big car. Anyways, so talking about the MOA model, which is which forms the base of any other models of consumer behaviors. So say for example, if you are hungry, you're wishing to have your breakfast, you start evaluating your breakfast options. So your motivation translates into your desire, that what will you have or what should you have, which is more likely for a specific uh, product categories, or a more specific to a goal focused category. Say for example, sandwich, salad, pizza. Like in breakfast, I don't think that pizza is suitable. Sandwich is more suitable, isn't it? Sandwich and salad, whosoever are more health conscious, they will go for salad, only salad. They will skip their breakfast. But there are many concepts which says that do not skip the breakfast, skip the lunch. So there are more school of thoughts. We will not go into details. Now talking about the various opportunities that you are having in front. Abhinaji was telling about the perfectly monopoly kind of thing. But nowadays, I don't see myself. If you see, then it is okay. I don't see at myself, and I have not find any literature on this, that any segment of the industry in any industry there is a monopoly kind of thing. Talking about the meeting app also, talking about the Google Meet also, talking about the Zoom, talking about WebEx, in that industry also, which was obviously new 2 to 3 years back. Now you see, almost every player is into this. One more app was coming, Geo app, I suppose. Geo video conferencing
GeoMeet.
app was
GeoMeet,
GeoMeet.
yes.
Exactly. So now see,
GeoMeet.
so in any industry, talking about the bad industries also, talking about the liquor industry, say for example, which is not said to be the good for health, but in that industry also you see a lot of competition, because if there would not have been competition, you would not have seen ads. Directly we do not see ads of liquor on TV. Reason is something different, because it is not being legal to advertise your liquor product into this.
No, we actually see the ads, but in a different way, sir.
Exactly, that is
Yes.
surrogate advertisement was the right word. That is not directly. They'll show soda, they'll show mineral water and all that. That Abhra ji, Sauvik ji, Ashutosh ji must be knowing what they're trying to show, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so now talking about the various opportunities, so need not to discuss further that in at every industry there are certain opportunities in front of you. But again, that opportunity depends upon your financial conditions also, and all those segmentation part, depending upon your age also, depending upon your family also, depending upon your culture also, your social values also. In ability, the research varies, the literature varies, because the many times it is being said, talking about the ability, so many researchers conclude ability and opportunity as same. That ability means, they say that ability to pay or willingness to pay. Achha, what is the difference between ability to pay and willingness to pay?
So ability to pay is whether I have the budget, but
Very good.
willingness is whether I'll be paying it, because I might have the ability to pay, but I might not be willing.
Exactly. When we were into graduation days, every one of you, including Manjur ji, Hina ji, Gayatri ji, including every one of us, when we were in school, when we were into college, remember, every one of us was having capability to pay. I mean, to treat Abra ji, Gayatri ji, Manjur ji, Hina ji, Sauvik ji, Ashutosh ji, say for example. But in our friend circle, there must be a friend who was having ability to pay, who was not having any problem as such of financial, but still, talking about certain lunch or certain breakfast, he will do what he used to do. He will eat slowly, so that the moment everyone will wash their hand, someone will pay and I will not have to pay. Wasn't it used to happen?
Yes, sir.
So that fall under willingness to pay. He was having ability, but he was not willing to pay. Okay, so but talking about the ability, one more part. Nowadays, researchers what they used to do, that ability they are trying to link with the ability of your skills, whether you are skillful to have that product or not. Say for example, I'm alone. I'm considering myself as a 65 years old. Okay, I'm all alone in my house. Now I want to have video chat with my kid, or my wife, or my father, or my family members. I'm having motivation that I want to talk to them. I'm having opportunity also. The app is there in my mobile phone. WhatsApp is there, Zoom is there, Google Meet is there, everything there. But I am not skillful enough to call, how to make a call. I'm having app. I'm having the UPI app, I'm having the digital payment app, but I'm not having a skill at how to operate all these things. So talking about the research area in this MOA model, you can link up this model as to the what is the role of skills in the online payment, or what is the role of say for example, you can take a topic, MOA model and on an online shopping purchasing. Okay, and in that also you specify your area of research, as the scope of my research will be limited to the ability part only. And in that ability you try to link whether how much the skill influences the online purchasing. Because every one of us wants to go for the online purchasing, but someone of us, say for example my mother, if she wishes to purchase from online, but she will say either me or my brother or my wife or my brother's wife that Avni is my niece, he was showing me certain things, so kindly order that. It is not that she is not having ability to pay, she is not having opportunity, but talking about the skill level, because she is not skillful enough to order by herself, isn't it? So this is also a very good area of research. So should I move forward?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Because there is a quiz also. So talking about the model that is not in the background, the model that is not in the background, the first one is the learning model. Just to make you more this, so that it is more visible to everyone. Okay, so talking about the learning models, so what exactly do learning model states?
Learning models, sir, I am not exactly sure what it states, but I can make an idea. Learning model basically refers to consumers making decisions based on the past experience, based on the learnings that they have acquired over a period of time.
It is also a fact, but I'll give you a hint. You must all have heard the Maslow hierarchy level of needs.
Okay, Maslow hierarchy is a learning model, or Evian model is there, that dog theory and all. That is a learning model.
Learning model. So say for example, if I'm hungry, so my first priority, actually learning model is all about prioritizing yourself. So my first priority is will be the need for food, rather than to go for the trendy clothing or to go for the trendy perfume, isn't it? Then psychoanalytical model, just anyone can you write in the chat box, learning model Maslow. I'll write here. Anyone of you can write in the chat box, so that because it is recorded, so I can share it with you also. Psychoanalytical model, I'll give you a hint. It is related to Sigmund Freud. I don't know the spelling whether it is right or not. Sigmund Freud spelling is right?
Right, sir. Sigmund Freud.
Sigmund Freud. So can anyone relate psychoanalytical need with the Sigmund Freud model?
Sir, I think Freud's Freud's premise was basically unconscious needs that was there. So basically,
Exactly.
we are buy a product because it satisfies some unconscious need that is there in our
Exactly.
subconscious.
Very good, very good. Say for example, talking about the glass, basically, this kind of model, what they stated, say for example, glass, I'm taking an example of the transparent glass, say for example, or laptop, take the example of laptop. Now what is the basic function of laptop? Just to have our work, Word is there, Excel is there, Microsoft, a PPT is there, then video chat we can do, we can do our work, Python, Java, or whatsoever. But in most recently, you must have seen Kareena Kapoor entering into the laptop market. Kareena Kapoor is not from the corporate background. Kareena Kapoor entering into the laptop market. What was it all about? Am I audible?
Sir, I missed your question. Sir, I missed out your question. Can you repeat?
I'm talking about the fact that laptop is all for working our working for my office, working for my home, Word, PPT, and all those things. Now, what was the linkage of Kareena Kapoor into this laptop? Because once we see laptop, what are the things that we imagine? Word is there, Excel is there, PPT is there, Java, Python, SPSS, R, or whatsoever. But we don't see Kareena Kapoor into laptop.
So in fact, we don't see any celebrity.
Exactly. But what was the need? What was the need from the advertisement side, from the side of the marketeer, that they incorporated Kareena Kapoor into the laptop market? I suppose it was Sony Vaio or something
Sony
like that.
Vaio, yes, Vaio.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
was the
Sony.
model? Sony.
Why,
Okay.
why? Yeah.
So in this example, this psychoanalytical model comes into the picture, because what Souvik ji said was 100% right. We it works more on our emotions. We see that, I mean, I go into that word, though Kareena Kapoor is not my favorite at all, not at all. I'll give her 0 marks out of 100. But still, there might be certain people, because if she was the celebrity endorser, she was the brand endorser, there might be certain target segment who must have gone to that level, that after buying laptop, I will be able to, many must have fantasized that I'll be able to meet Kareena Kapoor, isn't it? So basically, psychoanalytical model focuses more upon the emotions kind of thing. That Gayatri Balachandran topic will be very well acquainted with this psychoanalytical model, because packaging falls under psychoanalytical model. Talking about the packaging of the chocolates, talking about the packaging of Amazon Prime, say for example, because basic products remains the same whether you order from Amazon, Flipkart, but still many people prefer Amazon. Many will say that they are delivering fast, many will say certain other things, but still there will be few people who must be saying that I order from Amazon because they package their goods so very well, isn't it? Then there was another model called sociological model.
But sir,
Uh-huh.
one thing is not clear to me yet.
Mhm.
Now, what is the role of this celebrity in the
Mhm.
in the decision making of purchasing a laptop? Because, sir, if we recall
Six,
our
six, six,
advertisement
six.
model, there are
Mhm.
basically two factors. One is
Mhm.
likability, one is credibility of the
Mhm.
endorser,
Mhm.
right? So, if the
Mhm.
endorser is not associated with this product, with this,
Okay, okay, okay. I
with
mean,
the role of this product in any way.
by asking this question, you are questioning those kind of advertising agency or those kind of marketeers who put on their hard effort to get in Kareena Kapoor into that. Acha, do you
No,
reason?
there was Ashutosh. There was one reason for why it was taken. If you remember, laptop is basically like it is one type. It is silver color or that similar. But
Mhm.
Vaio changed that. They got different types of colors for cover, laptop covers and that. So they tried to position their laptop like it's a kind of accessory also. It will be
Mhm.
attractive, look wise it will be very beautiful. That's why they decided, I think they
Exactly,
planned
exactly.
celebrity in their advertisement to
That's
link
what I
that
was
thing.
telling. That's what
Yeah.
I was telling. Ki what is the use of various mobile covers into smartphone? Because cover is basically to protect, but still you will see many people going for bhaiya pink cover hai, or say for example black cover hai, or say for example blue cover hai. Now what is the use of color in the cover? That falls under the psychological model. Anyway, actually, one more example I was going to take. You talked about the credibility, na? Credibility, Abraji. Credibility is a very good concept. If you see by mm, Bank of Baroda and Rahul Dravid, have you seen that ad?
Yes, sir. I've seen.
Very old ad.
Yes, I have
ठीक है?
seen.
Now at that time, it was a very good case study also. At that time around, what happened, that Bank of Baroda was having many options. Rahul Dravid was there, Viren
Hmm,
Sehwag was there, Sachin
hmm,
was there, Lakshman. I mean,
hmm,
there were so
hmm,
many cricketers also that they could
hmm,
have been endorsed. But
hmm.
what happened? But cricket and banking are not related to each other. But they banked upon Rahul Dravid. Reason being, I'm telling you, because Rahul Dravid was
Reliability and
associated.
dependability.
Exactly. And
Mr.
banking
Dependable.
industry and Mr. Dependable, Mr. Wall, consistency. And
Consistency, right?
banking industry focuses upon the consistency, because middle class family, they do not see, they do not want to invest in a kind of security market also, in which rate of return is very high. Say for example, 50% rate of return is there, but at one point of time it is 100% loss, or say for example 150% loss. Many times it happens.
So you are right,
People
sir.
like me.
Actually, the bank associates not Rahul Dravid as a person. The bank
Mhm.
associates his characteristics.
his
with the people,
characteristics as a person.
with the
Okay.
yes, with the image of the bank.
With the image.
But in case of Kareena Kapoor, there is no association. That's what I was
No,
asking, sir. I do
there
not
was
find any
association.
association.
There was an association,
Maybe,
and
sir.
if you if you don't find one, it is a then it becomes more interesting topic for the research. Because Kareena Kapoor was associated with the fashion industry, so many people say that Ashutosh ji has very well answered your question.
Right. So that is one part which is correctly said, sir.
Exactly.
That's right.
Anyway, so talking about the sociological model, what it says? Sociological models. Any one of you? Just now, before starting this class, we have discussed about the family group, the friend group, the work group, or say
Peer
for example,
pressure
if
kind of.
peer pressure. So these all fall under the sociological model. Say for example, the C-suite executives are more often expected to be very professional in nature and very formal. And people, those kind of people who hold these kind of jobs will basically make purchase that speaks and that will uphold these groups, like formal business wear and not eating by hand, they'll go by spoon and all those things, because there is certain pressure, because people are watching through their camera, people are watching through their eyes, see, he is celebrity and he's eating by hand, he's CEO and he's not wearing the proper uniform. So that's why it happens. So basically, because of social pressure, because of family pressure, peer pressure and all those things, sociological model. Then someone was talking about the EKB model. What is EKB model? Any one of you? Should I write certain hint for you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Don't go by spelling, hai na? Okay, I'm typing it for awareness. One is awareness. Any one of you have got this? More or so related with the AIDA model, AIDA.
It is like creating need that you are not aware of, that kind of thing.
No. Who said this? Ashutosh ji. Actually,
Yeah.
I was reading the book of Kotler while I was into MBA, while I was into PhD also. In that book, and we cannot question Kotler. At least I cannot question Kotler. So in that book, it was very clearly mentioned that need cannot be created. Need cannot be created.
It's like
it can only be reinforced.
Reinforced.
Let me maybe
Please.
elaborate.
Please.
Suppose people are going for a car, but they are not aware there is, for example, easier way I'm saying, automatic transmission is available, for example.
Good.
So creating marketing that to tell people that how automatic transmission is better than manual transmission.
Yeah.
So that is creating awareness among consumers.
Exactly. Creating awareness is one thing. Creating need is another thing. Anyway.
Yeah.
So,
maybe.
So this.
So sir, now
EKB.
Yes, sir. So just saying in this context, so now there is also something called latent need. So the person himself or herself doesn't know that there is a need. So
exactly that's why I said. That's why I said.
Actually identifies the latent need and then helps to monetize it.
So see, for example, need was there, latent need was there, but it was evoked upon. Now I'll take an example. It happens with most of us many times. Say for example, I'm feeling hungry, or say for example, I'm feeling the thirstiness. Many times it happens while doing my work, I forget to drink water. Many times it happens that I forget to drink water, but need was there, thirst need was there. Suddenly I see Ashutosh ji, Shobik ji, Hina ji, Manjur ji, Abra ji, Gayatri ji, they all are drinking water, or they all are drinking cold drink. Suddenly this strikes, oh, I was also thirsty, and from since last 2 hours I was thinking that I will drink water. So actually need was there, but they all enforced my need. I mean, latent need into the actual need. They all help me to convert my latent need into the actual need, isn't it, Savik ji?
Yes, sir.
Good. So talking about the EKB model, it all starts with awareness, followed by the processing, that we all process the information, then we evaluate, then we make the purchase decision, and then suddenly that comes the outcome analysis, which is called whether we are satisfied or not. So agar basically talking about this also, we can straight away say that it is nothing but ADAS model: awareness, then we process the information, then we take the decision, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Now what Ashutosh ji was talking about, that creating awareness, many times it happens that creating awareness is very important. The product is with me, I offer many products, but people are not aware, my target segments are not aware. So until unless me as a customer, me as a consumer is aware that whether Maruti is offering this much discount, or say for example Mahindra is offering this much discount, or say for example Dove has come with this kind of concept. So until unless I am aware, so here the role of the marketeers, here the role of the advertisement comes into play. Then this model is being followed by the information processing kind of thing. Whether we process the information, that is also a very perceptual kind of thing. We process information after discovering that this particular brand is offering this kind of product or service. Dr. Manish begins to think about how this product or service, how this goods or products will relate to my past experience or needs, or whether they will fulfill any current needs or not. Because talking about the smartphone, I'm not a very die-hard fan of Samsung, but talking about the television industry, I'm a very die-hard fan of Samsung. Reason being, my past experience with Samsung was so good that whensoever I will feel like buying a new television, straight away my first choice will be Samsung, despite of the fact that I know yeah, no, talking about the television industry, Sony se badhiya koi nahi, Sony is the best, isn't it? It is the perception in almost every one of us. But still, while processing my information, in which we process our past experience also, then we evaluate. Basically this model is nothing but all those things that you all have talked about, that it starts with the need recognition, then information search, then what was it, evaluating alternatives, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
Now what was the another model, second last model? Black box
Black
model.
box box.
That I suppose Shavik ji was talking about this, na? Someone was talking about this when I started this class. Anyways, so what exactly is black box model? Nothing but there will be an stimuli, there will be a transformer, and there will be the response. Now stimuli there can be external factors, there can be internal factors, that I talked about. Now your intrinsic need can be there, and talking about that Ashutosh ji was talking about, all those marketing mix or the other factors, they might act as the external factors. You are having the need of socializing, you at the core of your heart, you are feeling that I must socialize. Suddenly you see connect through Facebook, connect through Instagram, isn't it? Many times it happens. So that kind of transformation falls under the black box model. And many times it happens ki black box model, they might look complex to a researcher, but it is a very fairly straightforward path, because the consumer comes into contact with the external stimuli from your business marketing mix or other external stimuli, and then we as a customer process it into our mind. And this black box model, the at the core of this black box model is my mind, because this mind is called the black box. Because black box is into almost every industry. In flight also there is black box, train also there is a black box. So our mind in this model is a black box model. Clear? Now I will ask a question to anyone can answer. Talking about all these models, what can be the area of research into all this? What can be the area of research into all this?
Sir, what is this Hawkins turn impulse buying?
Exactly. Sorry. I missed this point. I suppose it was there. Anyways, so this impulse buying theory, this Hawkins-Stern impulse buying theory, was said to be the alternative to the learning model and this EKB model, because it claims that whatsoever we purchase, whatsoever purchasing decision we make, it is not always because of the result of certain rational thought. That impulse buying that I was going through now. In this case I was going through the impulse buying. So many
Yes.
times we might not be rational at our thinking, but still we go for the purchase. And this what Hawkins Stern said, he basically there are four kind of purchase that we make. One is the escape purchase. Many times Souvik ji, what you can do, that you might call it as a pure impulse that involves your purchasing an item which are not routine in nature, or you are shopping from a list of shoppers. So basically what happens, we as a customers, we as a consumers are drawn into all these items through visuals only. Visuals, do you understand visuals?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
So that falls under the escape purchase. Then Hawkins also said that there is a kind of reminder purchase. Do you know what is reminder purchase?
No, sir. This is something I'm not aware of.
Okay. So in this, what happens here? Consumers make a decision, make a reminder impulse purchase when we all come across a product through in-store setups, or through promotional offers, or a very simple reminder that a product exists, like a strategically placed ice cream scoop in the freezer as well of a grocery store. In grocery store, generally you'll see the very good packaging ice cream scoop are there. So that reminds, ho sakta hai, it might happens ki it was your you were willing to have your ice cream, but in shopping list it was not there. Many times you escape na, while going for the purchase. Many times it happens ki small items we miss out. But suddenly if you'll see the sachet of shampoo, say for example, in many mom and pop stores, they are being into the front side, isn't it? I have seen many times. Or say for example, Vicks ki goli lo khich khich dur karo. Say for example, Iodex. These are the very small things that we might miss while we prepare the list for the medicines. We will write crocin, vitamin, ginkgo, or so whatsoever. But we might miss these small items like Vicks, or say for example, Iodex. So every one of you must have seen all these items are being placed at a very front row, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So that is
Basically,
because
that's not top of the mind. So basically, to get it at the top of the mind of the consumer.
Exactly.
That is this, right?
Exactly. Many times it happens. For me also, it has happened many times. Suddenly, after going to the shop, I'll see, oh, shampoo was there to be purchased. But while watching the sachet of shampoo also, if I'm living as a bachelor, I'll go for the sachet. But if I'm living in a family, by I will connect the sachet of shampoo to the packaging of shampoo, isn't it, Gayatri ji? It happens.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, exactly. This is a very important topic. Just take my word. A lot of research in the area of consumer behavior is into this field. Elements of diffusion of innovation. Most of you must have heard of it. What is diffusion of innovation? Say for example,
Yes.
talking about the diffusion of innovation, I was going through one as a electric car vehicle, which is for many of us, it is an innovation kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Exactly. So talking about the diffusion of innovation, what exactly do it states? Basically, there how many stages?
I think, sir, 5 stages, right?
Very good. 5 stages. What were they? This is also in the background actually.
Yes, sir. So
Early adopters,
early adopters,
early
yeah.
adopters.
Getting it? Innovators, early adopters, early majority, late majority, laggards. I will not go into details of all these things because this is also a matter of research. Because he said, someone said, Kiya, I suppose it was Rogers, na? Rogers model was it? Am I audible or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It was Rogers actually. So Rogers, he must have said it into the 1970s, 1980s, say for example. But still many people do not touch this area because they suppose, if Rogers said, then talking about the Newton's law, talking about the Einstein's law, talking about the Newton's law, Einstein law. So many people do not touch their area because they see that Newton is a kind of god, Einstein is a kind of god. So in the area of marketing also, many people might think that Rogers was right, Rogers is right, Rogers will be right. But yeah, it might take very much time, very very conscious kind of thing, very involving kind of thing going into the this field of research. So I will not generally advise you because it might take a whole lot of time. But still we can challenge that model, that is it so, or is it true for every kind of product, whether it is smartphones, whether it is car, whether it is shampoo, whether it is soap, whether it is toothpaste, whether it is toothbrush, is it true? So this can be the area of research, but I personally will not advise because it will take a whole lot of pain, mind you. So please, if you can, if you are willing, then it will be a Nobel Prize winning kind of thing if you can challenge. But anyways, Acha, before this, innovations, early adopters, early majority, late majority, because it is all clear from this. Can anyone tell me that what exactly do you understand by innovation?
The
Finding out
concept of bringing
something
a new
new.
product.
The
Concept
the
of bringing a new
concept of
product.
beginning anew. Everyone agrees, or anyone differs?
Yeah,
Everyone
agreed, sir.
agrees. Agree. Okay. Everyone? I disagree.
Okay.
I disagree. Reason being, I'm telling you, because in this also there is a very much of controversy. Many say that's something new. Many say that it is not entirely new thing. It is not entirely new thing, because going by the definition of innovation, I still remember that definition when I was into my final year of graduation. I was going through the SSB interview of CDS. So for that I was going into library, reading many articles. One article of the Hindu struck me, and it is still striking, in which it was written that necessity is the mother of invention. Everyone agrees, necessity
Yes,
is the
sir.
mother
Yes.
of invention.
Invention.
And in that article it was very clearly mentioned that prosperity is the mother of innovation. Prosperity is the mother of innovation. It means to, I mean, it need not to be entirely new. Say for example, talking about the smartphone, everyone is having smartphone.
Yes, sir.
Everyone is having smartphone. Now what are the various features of smartphone? Camera is there, then touchpad is there, radio is there, music is there. Camera was initially also, wasn't it? Initially also we were having camera.
Yes.
Kodak camera, I mean, it was very nostalgic kind of thing. Real camera, do you all remember real camera?
Yes, yes.
Yes,
It
yes.
was,
Hotspot.
it
Hotspot.
was there. Okay, it was there. Then talking about the radio, radio was also there. We keep on doing match aa raha hai, then we keep on tuning the channel. Oh, now it has come. Radio was there, tape recorder was there, everything was there. So what is something new in this? We have taken we have taken all those concepts, we have just kept it in one single place. Calling was also there, wasn't it? We used to call on telephone on a so regular basis. That coin was also there. So innovation does not need to be entirely new. It is my perception. Again, if you go by literature, you will find a whole lot of things. Someone will say that it is entirely new, someone will say that no, it is nothing like something new, but packaging the old wine into the new glass or something like that.
Yeah, in fact, one strange thought that sometimes I feel laziness is also mother of innovation.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because
Well,
lazy people are more creative.
no, no, not that way. Like one example, early days there was no remote. One example, just to say. So why we go for remote? It's like making our life more comfortable. That is basically laziness. Maybe in positive sense also. Why
Exactly.
in everything, like in cars also, features are added. They are basically adding to comfort, convenience, easiness of your life. So in a way,
Exactly.
when you feel that
And
how comfortable or lazy, in a way you can say that. Uh,
exactly.
yeah.
Actually, many people say that Newton was lazy. That's why he was creative. Because if he was a kid, he must have gone to the tree and plucked the apple. But he was waiting for apple to fall. Apple fall, fall, fall. So he was lazy. That's why he was creative. Jokes apart. Anyways, so talking about the innovation. So basically, the diffusion of innovation. There are these steps, these are the elements of diffusion of innovation that you must be seeing: innovation, communication, social, and time. So talking about the innovation, that every one of us are clear. Talking about the communication also, nothing much to talk about. Communication channels are there, through paid channel are there, unpaid channel are there, radio is there, print is there, and everything is there. Because once we have come up with certain innovation, it must be communicated, so there is nothing new in that. Then this is the very important concept: social system. What is social system according to Rogers? Anyone? Anyways, so social systems, basically what Rogers taught, it may be an individual person, groups, or the organizations. And the key for the social system is the members of the system. Why I'm talking about the social system? Say for example, Google Meet. I'm taking the example of Google Meet. Say for example, Google Meet is an innovation. For a while, I'm considering this example. I have come to this communication that Google Meet has launched this through, say for example, my Gmail, because everyone is having Gmail account, whatsoever. I mean, almost 99.999% people must be having Gmail account in India. Agree or not?
Sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now, say for example, through Google Meet, I have come to the awareness level. Yeah, Google Meet exists through Gmail. Talking about the social system. Now, say for example, I'm not willing to take class on Google Meet. I prefer WebEx. Say for example, or I prefer Zoom. Now, if my organization is my social system forces me, or say for example, Ashutosh ji, Shauvik ji, Hina ji, Manzoor ji, Abra ji, Gayatri ji, if you all say that, sir, we all are comfortable at Google Meet, so kindly go through Google Meet. Now this is a social system through that, because I'm using Google Meet for the first time. This is just an example. I might be using Google Meet for the first time, but this is the social system of Ashutosh ji, Shauvik ji, Hina ji, Manzoor ji, Amra ji, and Gayatri ji that have forced me to fall into this innovation. Okay. Then what was the other one? Last one. It was time, I suppose. The time. Then what is time? Because every one of you must be aware that anything takes time. Time is equivalent to money. Without time, nothing can happen. If we are interacting with each other, we are consuming certain time. So in likewise also, adoption of innovations takes time. Reason why I'm telling you, talking about Zoom meeting, this is an internal example from our own organization only. Now when we all started our online classes, the young brigade, including me, was not facing much problem in Zoom. Okay. But basically, talking about the time, many students were facing problem. How to connect through Zoom? I'm not able to see the screen. I'm not able to launch the Zoom app into my system, and likewise that. So talking about the time, if now say for example, if you are our social system, so you must have taken, say for example, 2 to 3 hours to get conversant with what exactly Zoom or WebEx or Google Meet or whatsoever meet be it. Isn't it, Manjoorji?
Yes, sir.
Because you all are intellectual, so ज़्यादा time नहीं लगेगा. You will not take much time to adopt to certain thing. But India is a diversified country, or even the world is a very diversified place. So talking about the adoption of innovation, it takes time. Because if I am conversant with Google Meet, but through Google Meet, I need at least Gayatri ji, Abra ji, or Hina ji to have some interaction. So if Gayatri ji will feel comfortable, Abra ji will feel comfortable, Hina ji will feel comfortable, then only I can take the classes on Google Meet. Because if say for example, for today's meeting, if you were not having skills to how to join through Google Meet, wasn't it a possibility? हो सकता था?
हो सकता था.
Exactly. So talking about the time, it is nothing but the adoption of innovations. It takes time. Everything takes time. So that's, people consider time as a very important variable while studying this diffusion of innovations. Clear, everyone? Any problem?
No, sir.
No,
Should
sir.
I move? Okay.
Yes, we can move forward.
Because there is a quiz also. Now comes the trends. What are the various trends in consumer behavior? And through these trends, and I have taken this from Forbes.com, that I can write in the chat box also. See, still I'm not very friendly with Google Meet. It happens, it takes time. Visible to everyone? That you all can see. But anyways, talking about the trends in consumer behavior. First one is transparency. Visible to everyone?
Yes.
Now, what are the, just straight away we will go, what are the areas of research that we can think of into the transparency kind of trends? I'll give you a hint. Open restaurant. Nowadays, what I believe, and every one of you must agree, I mean, not must agree, it is up to you, that, while growing concerns around our food safety, the ethical sourcing, or, data security, or the environmental impact, we as a consumer, does not we want to know more than ever before about the product, what we buy? What is the package? Gayatri ji will answer the question that what is the packaging material that you are using. Transparency, you must tell that, what are the materials that are using for your rasagulla, or say for example, what are the products that are using for the chocolates, isn't it? So talking about the transparency aspect, it has come to the play more than ever before, because in initial days also, people might be transparent, but they were not willing to have some more transparency. Just go to restaurant, whatever you order, because initially ho sakta hai, people might be trusting their colleagues, trusting their peers more than ever before. Nowadays, because of certain trust factors, there was a concept of open restaurant kind of system. Now, why was that concept? Just to show the transparency. Whatever food we are ordering, there is a transparent kitchen. We can see live, this kind of food is prepared by this means. So there is not an issue, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Now, talking about the transparency, there is one more aspect that many organizations do, and many researchers focus upon this, including my wife's topic. Dr. Shweta Singh's topic was measuring impact of corporate social responsibility into the trust factor of the brand. Measuring effectiveness of corporate social responsibility into the trust factor. So, corporate social responsibility, generally it is being said that, do you all understand Hindi a bit?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Everyone, ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
एक बहुत पुरानी कहावत है in which we used to say, नेकी कर दरिया में डाल. If we translate it, if we do any goods to the human being, do not highlight that. But will the organization function like that? If Gayatri ji's organization, Abra ji's organization, Ashutosh ji's organization, if we all work so hard for the corporate social responsibility and do not highlight that factor, will it work for you? Your own employees will say, I have worked so hard, I'm not being highlighted. What is this? People dissatisfaction part will also be there. So talking about the transparency, corporate social responsibility kind of thing also falls under the transparency kind of thing. that we must highlight upon, talking about from the perspective of organization, we must highlight upon our social, environmental, and our climatic responsibility. So it is a very important topic of research also. For Manjoor ji also, your topic is on women entrepreneurship, na?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So on that also, say for example, measuring the customer's perception or consumer perception of CSR in tourism industry, isn't it? Cannot be a very good topic.
Yes, sir.
Now, the second trend that you must be doing, fortunately or unfortunately, thanks or unthanks to this, this virus, online buying, now it is the forced also. Many times it was the choice of many customers, but now because of this unfortunate kind of thing, it has become the forced kind of thing on us. Agree or not?
Agreed, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the one article from McKinsey was there. McKinsey, what they said, ki the 10 years of their e-commerce adoption is compressed into just 3 months. It's just compressed into 3 months, because initially they highlighted that, talking about the online business, talking about the e-commerce adoption, it will take 10 years for at least 50% to reach that to level. But because of this pandemic, in almost around 3 months only, almost 50% according to their data were going for the online purchase. Talking about the old age group also, basically it is being said that old age people do not prefer online buying, isn't it? Forget about old age. I will take my example. I'm not that much old, but still I don't know. I mean, the reason I don't know, but my preference was not online. Right from the beginning, I used to say, no, from local vendors we must buy. I mean, it has come from my father, because my father also, he used to say that he will never visit Big Bazaar, he will never visit this Future Group and all those things. He will never visit the supermarket. Anything has to be buy, he will say that no, local retailers, local vendors. So that culture, that purchasing decision has come from him only, which I think is a good thing from my part. But still, now talking about the online shopping, now because of the security reason, the same father remains the same. He used to prefer, he used to hate online shopping, he used to hate all this Reliance or whatsoever. Now through phone, the same father used to tell me, same father used to advise me, he do not go outside, Reliance Mart is there, Shweta was telling Reliance Mart was there, order from that, or Geo Mart is there, order from that, and all those things. Now see the change. That's why I'm saying nothing is permanent. Nothing is permanent in this world. Change is the only permanent thing, isn't it? So that's why talking about research, you will see that there has been a lot of research on that topic. But that research, say for example, if it was done 10 years ago, but from these 10 years, perception has changed, our behavior has changed. Nowadays, everyone is aware about online shopping, everyone is aware about Amazon. Even in my village also, people order from Amazon, and I was surprised. Talking about the old age people, so generally what happened, initially according to their data, they found out that 50 plus age group people's online presence was only 8%, but during those 3 months it all increased from 8% to 30%. Now you can see 8% to 30%. So wasn't it a very dramatic change? So basically, there are other factors also which influences our buying behavior. Then the third trend is what's truly important. Can anyone explain what's truly important? Especially in this COVID time, we were bound to, I mean, emotionally or unemotionally or whatsoever the reasons might be, we were focusing more upon the basic needs. Since last 1.5 years, no one of you must be thinking about buying a new property or buying a new car or buying something else. You were just focusing upon your basic and safety need, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
What was the reason? Because in this COVID time, there are certain positives also that has to be taken from this, because it has taught every one of us, every human being, that without pizza also we can live, without fast food also we can live, without luxurious life also we can survive, isn't it? So now our focus has become more on the fact that what is truly important. Because if I take a survey, because research is also about taking a survey. If I take a survey from every one of us, just write in the chat box, everyone please cooperate. If I ask you a simple question, how many times have you used hand sanitizer before March 2020? Before March 2020. Abraji, kindly do not write hardly, just a rough figure, 10, 15, 20 or whatsoever, even 1, 2.
In a month? In a week?
No. I'm talking about number of times we have used the hand sanitizer before March 2020.
Before March 2020.
Very good. 5 approx. 15 to 20. Nil, very good. You are into my category, Manjurji. 20 to 30. Good. It means Sovikji was using hand sanitizer before also. Very good.
No, this is in my entire lifetime that I have used 15 to 20 times, sir.
Exactly. I'm talking about the lifetime only.
Yeah. So in a span of maybe 38 years.
Very good. Now straight away, right? The use of hand sanitizer post March 2020.
So it's difficult to count.
Difficult to count. Very good. Difficult to count means I'm putting.
It's huge actually. You cannot put a number to it.
I'm taking
infinite.
500.
It is infinite.
No, infinite countable. Now, say for example, if I asked you the first question, it was for the lifetime pre-March 2020. Now, here I'm taking the data of only 1.5 years. 1.5 year, na? From March 2020 to August 2020, it is hardly 1.5 months, 1.5 year also. Okay? And we have used 500, 1,000 and so many times. Okay? So see the change. Now, the same sanitizer which was once falling under the safety, or say for example for many people including me, I have hardly used 1 to 2 times, but I used to keep in my bag just to show up that when I was in graduation time, that I'm using sanitizer because the smell was good. I never used to rub into my hand. The smell was very good. I used to smell. Now, say for example, at that time round, for many of us, that sanitizer was for showing off, isn't it, Sovikji? That what you were saying just now, that car is also not only for the transportation but for show off. So in our initial days, or say for example, Kent RO water purifier. Initially, it was not falling under the basic need. For many people, AC was for just showing off. AC is just to show off. But nowadays, because of necessity also people are buying. So in a similar way, people are more focusing upon basic and safety concern. So that's why people are going for the fact that what exactly is truly important. Agree or not? For me, I completely agree that our preference have changed, our choice have changed. Then there is a shift in omnipresent communication. I'm saying it as a trend, but since last 20 to 25 years, it is the same thing. This remains the constant. The shift in omnipresent communication. Because we as a customer also want our brand through which we are associated, that my brand must be placed at almost every corner of the world. If I'm going through Facebook, if I'm browsing Facebook, if I'm watching YouTube, my preferred brand should come into play. And talking about this omnipresent communication, many times a topic of research comes that, say for example, through print also, through print there is something different. There is some different communication. Through TV there is some different communication. That's why in your MBA time you must have studied the integrated marketing communication. Every one of you must have gone through it. Integrated marketing communication.
Yes sir.
So it was all about because there might be a definite shift in the omnipresent communication. because as I have discussed already, we are all moving online, we are all moving remote example Shavik ji has taken. We all are creating a very cohesive brand experience. So it is our desire that we expect we are looking for the experience also. We are looking for the experience also that meets me where I am, or when it is convenient to me for look at. Because nowadays we don't simply want Mahendra Singh Dhoni or Kareena Kapoor or Nana Patekar or anyone into it. We want the information also to be shared, like how to use that particular product, कैसे use करें. And whensoever we saw, wheresoever we see, we must they must align themselves. Someone says that I'm giving 50% discount. Someone might say that I'll give only 40% discount about the same brand, of course. So entire communication must be aligned. Agree or not?
Yes, sir.
Now, if I ask a simple question, if you feel like any problem, you can write in the chat box also. That what are the area of research or the topic of research into this communication kind of thing, omnipresent presence of communication? Because nowadays there is, in each and every kind of thing, there is a certain communication. If it is hidden also, it is a communication. Say, for example, taking the example of my own scholar, one of my scholar is doing his research on the measuring effectiveness of, I'll see through it. If I'm having his synopsis, I'll share with you all, or I can say him, he will forward. So his topic is something like this: measuring the effectiveness of EWM. Now, do you know EWM, electronic word of mouth?
Yeah, basically, social media comments and all, right?
Exactly. So EWM on if measuring on the OTT platforms. Now, say for example, talking about any brand, talking about you just go to Amazon, you just go to Flipkart, Myntra, or whatever your preferred brand might be. You search any product. What highlights most is the 4.1, 2.6, 3.9, isn't it? That is also a communication.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So and that also affects our buying decision. That question answer section, that is also important. Taking my example, what happened 2 to 3 months back, it is not a very old story. 2 to 3 months back, one product that I was ordering was a kind of toy for my niece, and rating was 4.8. See, rating was 4.8. It means it was very good, and the total number of reviewer were 2000 something. So it means that part was also good. But now suddenly, what happened? My sister said that go to the question answer session. I was not aware about that fact. Now in question answer session, everything was clear. Suddenly, one person was asking question. Will it be safe for the kids if he puts in the mouth? Then the answer was there. No, it is not safe for the kids who are below 2 years of age. Now, talking about the review, it was written in that particular product for below 2 year age people. Product was there because I filtered that. For age, what age should I go for that? But talking about review, it means it was okay. I'll put a positive tick in the visible to everyone. Tick mark. Tick
Yes,
means
sir.
positive. I'm positive from my part. Okay. Now, during that question answer section, just one question changed my entire mind. Isn't it? So talking about the research also, talking about the research point of also, you can go for the topic like measuring the, basically not talking about your thesis, because for thesis also most of you must have must be clearly defined your area, that which area you're going to. But talking about the writing research paper, you must focus upon, just see through it, that whether it is possible or not. The effect of question answer session on the female customer, or the effect of question answer section on the male consumers, effect of question answer section on the university students, or something like that. Will not it be interesting? I suppose no one is interested in this kind of topic.
No, yes, it is interesting.
No, sir, it's very interesting actually.
Okay. Just think through it. I'm not forcing anyone because, and one more thing is that demand for anonymity. Now, what exactly is anonymity? Many times it happens we do not go for certain app because they are asking so many information from me. Now, talking about the anonymity, we do not want to fall into such kind of situation where my name is also known to you, my gender is also known to you, my mobile number is also known to you. So it has happened to most of us. Talking about downloading app, if they will ask for everything, give your mobile age, then we simply skip that. We do not want that app. Talking about the product search also, many companies are there. They'll ask for everything, your mobile number, your account number, and all those aspects. So now people are more aware, and I mean, thanks or unthanks to all these cyber frauds, we are very much aware. Hai ki nahi?
Yes, a fact.
Yes,
Fact.
yes.
It is fact, because and now if company will ask you everything, that you give your gender, you give your marriage qualification. Now, what has you to do with my marriage? Yeah, what has you to do with my kids? So people are becoming more anonymous. There is a demand for anonymity. Then this consumers looking for social experience. What is it? Everyone, especially if I ask, Gayatri ji and Hina ji, they will say that, now they are bored of not going for the street food. If I ask Savik ji, if I ask Ashutosh ji, every one of us must be feeling, yeah, it has been years since I last went to street food for have Golgappa. Isn't it?
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
I'm taking the example of Golgappa, but the choices can be different. Ashutosh ji, kya hai aapka favorite? What is your favorite street food?
Anything like bhel, probably.
Okay. Probably street food, मतलब favorite भी probably. लगता है you are so diet conscious. Anyways, ठीक है. So now since last 1.5 years, if we are stuck in our home, we are not going for the market. So now once the vaccine, we must pray to the Almighty that once the vaccine reaches the masses and everything gets settles. So we are obviously going to see a wave of ourselves wanting to go out, and we all want to shop that, by making our purchase, and we all want to have some social experience. So in that also, many marketers are looking at what special offering can I offer to the customers. Abra ji, Gayatri ji ko what can I offer different? Social experience, talking about the social experience, isn't it? And you all will be in a better position to tell as a customer, because marketeers will work according to you, according to we all. Because in research also there are implication chapter, which is very important, let me tell you, which is very, very, very important. Because in last Viva also, when external came, his two simple question was there: what is the managerial implication, what is the social implication, and what is the theoretical implication. Basically there are three kind of implication, which is not part of this syllabus, but as a researcher it is very important to know. So talking about the marketing implication, or managers implication, we all can give a data to the marketers that what we all want as a social experience. We can collect data from ourselves and tell marketers, yeah, these are the social experience that we all want. If you are able to give, then okay, or else there are so many options. Then there is a concept of content marketing, which is not a new concept. Content marketing you must have gone through. But in content marketing, I was reading an article day before yesterday, in which a very important word highlighted myself, which was soperstainment. Any one of you can search on this Google, soperstainment.
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 Okay.
My screen is visible now. I'll just type one more word. Let's see whether it comes or not. Shop plus what was it? Live stream. Basically it was all about he, nowadays there is a concept of live streaming plus shopping that becomes the shop streaming. Live streaming plus shopping becomes the shop streaming. Clear to everyone?
Okay, sir. Okay, got it.
Live streaming plus, say for example, I'm shopping on Amazon. Now at the right hand side there is a live streaming kind of thing in which there is a social experience also, in which people are showing in which it is being shown that my product is manufactured in this way. And in that also many times it happens there is a reviewer who is having a very good experience of that brand. He might be saying something positive at the right hand side of that website, and it happens. I'm just forgetting her name. In China, I suppose 2 years back there was a lady whose live streaming was way higher than that Game of Thrones serial. Have you all seen Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Actually, I have not seen. That's why I'm asked. How is it?
That is good.
Achha, that is good. Anyways, so it was all about the growing importance of the content marketing. Then need not to discuss much about increased focus upon the green products. What is this increased focus upon green products?
Like organic food.
Organic foods, very good. The foods that are more environmental friendly, the foods that are less fatty, and all those things. So but it's still talking about the clean energy motive of our government also. It was already a trend that this year we will grow more exponentially because of this COVID, because we have what I believe, we have become more focused upon our hygiene factor, isn't it? We are more diet conscious nowadays, which is a good thing. We must continue in this way also, because many times it happens that once we think of many things, but once everything is over, we are back to basics. We are back to Virat Kohli. We keep on giving wicket to Anderson, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Now the last one is now the last one is more socially conscious shopping. What exactly is it? So, have you all heard? Asha, before that, have you all heard about that? Toilet paper in US.
Yes.
Toilet paper shortage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, what was it?
So people just when this lockdown may cause reduction in stock and also they started piling up the paper at home.
Which does not fall in the socially conscious shopping.
Yeah.
Because if I go and I'll tell you an example. In village side they are more conscious. In village side they are more conscious, because what happened, one of my cousin, he was into he was in village at that particular time, and his father was not feeling well. So he went to the shop, medical shop, and said that bhaiya 2 patta crocin dijiyega. Are you getting me? 2 patta crocin means, one patta contains, I suppose, 10 tablets, crocin.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so 2 patta means 20 tablets, and now that shopkeeper denied. He said ki bhaiya, if I'll give it, if I will give all to only you, then how will I serve other people? And when he told me this story, I was so emotional. That see, in our urban areas, in our city, people are not conscious, but in village, how conscious they are? He said that no, I'll at most I can give you 5, because I have to give to other customers also. So talking about the social awareness campaigns, talking about the socially conscious shopping, it will be in a trend for at least, say for example, 3 to 4 years. Because say for example, if I take you all as a sample, aren't you all have become very socially conscious? donation kind
Yes.
of thing also.
Yes.
If you'll see that certain company are demanding you one rupees extra, say for example, or 2 rupees extra, and still you are not feeling any problem giving them, because you have seen the pain. We all have seen the pain, that it is not worth giving 10 rupees. Now we all say that no, 10 rupees is not a big amount, but if my 10 rupee can serve something good for the society, I will feel myself lucky. Nowadays people are getting into this concept also, that I will feel myself lucky if I can help someone out, isn't it? And I
Yes,
suppose
sir.
every one of you must be doing certain social activity from your end, I believe.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
yes,
wish you
sir.
all the best, and wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir.
So talking about the number game, talking about the laziness level, we all will play. Should I put on the quiz?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
By wishing all of you the very best, and do not go by the numbers. I mean, do not play for the numbers only. Just go to the question, because everything is being taught in this class. There is nothing out of syllabus question. If you find out, then kindly ping to my personal WhatsApp if you find anything out of syllabus. Okay. And
You're
wish you all
putting
the
in
best. Not
chat box. You're putting that link, or
yeah, in chat box I will share. Wish you all the best, not only for the quiz but for your research part.
thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So in chat box I have shared the link for the quiz. So should I start now?
Yes, sir. Please.
All the best.